Alrighty, we have Gio, we have me, we have Maggie in your home, and Jay is outside. So we are working on down first. Worked on two things. I'm going to talk about down first. So as you can see, we have Maggie's favorite blanket out. Her blanket typically goes on the couch. We also have treats in Gio's hand. So what she's doing is the luring technique. We mentioned the luring technique to you guys when we first came over here and how important it is to help build behaviors you like. It is the same thing for down. We're going to lure her into the position we like and then mark it. Now down is a little bit more complicated than sit, of course. Down, we like to shape it, meaning that we like to go slowly, have her do other behaviors first, and then we're going to convince her to go down. Most dogs don't just go down when you do the hand signal. So, for example, we shape it by having her sit first, and then she lays all the way down. There's an added element of her getting on the mat as well. This is actually the beginning of a very complex behavior called place, but we're not working on place yet. However, we are priming her for place. She's going to be really good at place by the time we get to that behavior. That being said, we did not say sit. We literally used our hand signal, our visual cue, to get her to go in the position we need her to be in, which is halfway down, and then we use a treat and lured her down. Now, the good thing is that Maggie already kind of relatively knew down, so it's very easy to do. However, with some dogs, you may find that it's very hard to lure them into down, even when they're in the sit. But for Maggie, it's not the case because she loves this mat and she's very comfortable with us, which is a very big thing too. If she was not comfortable, she would not be going to a down. That being said, enough about that. Maggie's doing a really good job. There's another added element to this down that's really important. So typically, I'm gonna have Gio do it really quick. It's have to wait for her to do it, and I can talk about it. That's it, and then she goes down. Now we are not immediately marking this down. No. We want her hip to roll on the side. Oh God, that's the whole body. Oh my goodness. We want her hip to roll on the side, right, just like that. In that U shape. Yes, that. What is it?
A U shape.
I guess it's it's like a U shape. Yes. Okay, like what shape? Like, are you talking about English? Anyway, we want her to be in that shape because we know that she is less likely to get up because she's on her hip. She's not, huh? No lower this time, yeah. So we want to make sure that she's all the way comfortable and less likely to get up. If she's in that prancing down, the Sphinx down, kind of like the nap, like that down right there, she's more likely to get up and prop up. And I'm pretty sure you know, I've seen her do this often. So we want this down where she's in the U. And I hope that makes sense. She's doing an amazing job with this. We are making sure that we release her. We're saying free. To let her know that she's done with this, with the behavior. You are at ease, soldier. You are done. And that way we do not make her frustrated. And hey, this is it. You're done. You're released, and let's move on to something else. Also, a chance for her to take a break, which is going to be really important. Good job. Notice Gio's body language. She's very slow with this, like with all our behavior is very slow and also very quiet. Again, we're not saying sit. Are you saying down?
I'm muttering it a little bit.
Okay.
She's starting to
Yeah.
get it.
I'm sorry.
But basically, the steps are just do it with luring over and over. Right now, we're doing it on a mat. If you try to do this on the hard floor, you may not get the same result because generalization comes into play. But to make sure that you're practicing consistently, don't say anything at all. At first, you're just doing with the lure. But once you see that she is following your hand consistently, try the same hand motion without a lure. And then once you get that consistently, then you can start calling it down. It is very important that you differentiate down from off. So if she is jumping up on things, make sure you're not saying down for that because she may be really confused. So off means get off of things. Down means you need to go lay down first.
All right, and that's down. She gives herself a break. We do not mind that.
All right, so the next behavior that we are doing today is recall.
Maggie, come.
Good.
Yes, good.
Which she is really good at. Now, very important that when you start recall that you do practice this indoors, not outdoors. A lot of people get frustrated that their dog doesn't quote unquote listen to them outside. And this is because they've actually not really practiced recall indoors and made it bulletproof. So we want to make it as easy as possible, just like every other behavior. And the biggest key here with recall is that notice that Taylor just gave her a multitude of treats. Recall is one of the most important behaviors. It's literally life-saving. You know, if your dog is headed towards the wrong direction, you want to make sure that when they do close that gap between themselves and you, that you've really made it worth their while.
Yes, good girl.
The other element that Taylor is doing is that she is handling her collar just ever so politely, not really overhand. This is really good for getting her used to being handled, but also understanding that when she comes to you, she's probably going to have to stay with you.
Oh, good girl. She's like, no.
Very, very key. The steps for recall are very simple. You say her name, Maggie, and you say come once. Really, really important. Then you can follow it up with a lot of baby talk. But just like the rest of our cues, we do not want you to get in the habit of repeating yourself. Otherwise, your recall may be extremely repetitive and may not work.
Maggie, come. Yes, good girl.
Good.
We love the excitement, the speed at which she came at me, which is really good. Now I'm going to talk about a little extra thing she's doing right here. She knows I'm going to handle her collar. She's not the biggest fan of that. This is why I'm taking it very slowly. We know that she doesn't like to be handled in general, but for this exercise, it's so fun for her that I'm kind of sneaking in the handling just in case. So let's say you're somewhere and you need her to come to you, you need her to stay with you. Then grabbing her will be your easiest way to keep her near you in that moment. However, she's not used to being handled when she does come to you. Let's say she comes to you and kind of runs around you, runs away. Then your recall really won't stick, and she won't understand that in order, whenever I call you, you need to stay with me for a second, Maggie. That's how we get started. Maggie, come. Yes. So again, under here, like Gio said, notice she looked at my hand. Good job. And kind of touched it with her nose. Kind of her way of saying, I'm not really comfortable with that. So I took my hand away. It's really important that I listen to her in these moments. Even though we are learning recall, I want to grab her. I'm not going to force it on her. I'm going to let her tell me, okay, I'm not comfortable with that. So what I'm doing instead, Maggie, come. I am giving her treats at the exact same time I am handling her collar. The entire time I'm handling her collar, as you can see, I'm going to give her a treat. So I can build a positive association between my hand coming towards her, and I was able to go overhand that time, and this exercise. I don't want to poison this cue or this exercise for her. Good job. Okay, so last treats. You cannot over-treat this. We call this a jackpot treat, where I'm giving her spontaneous treats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let her realize that this is a really beneficial behavior. It's worth your while. I'm going to give you a lot of treats that you never usually get. Now, we are using moist and medium, but typically we go for our higher value treats for this. I'm actually going to get some right now. You can follow the camera.
Follow camera. There we go.
All right, I'm actually going to get some cheese.
Oh, it's cheese. We love cheese.
We've been using the same treats for this entire session, which is moist and beauties. So she may be more willing. She would be more willing to do recall if we have a higher value treat, as you can see. So I'm going to use a higher value treat and keep it really fun for her. Again, she does not like being handled, but we have to add this to our recall. We want to make sure safety comes first.
All right, let's actually go ahead and take it a step further with our last portion of recall. It's our favorite game we love to play with dogs, which is hide and seek. It is such a simple way to build in recall as a fun thing so that when you do need it in an emergency situation, your dog's immediately going to be triggered by the fun activity that you played indoors. So I am going to go ahead and hide. Good girl.
Good job.
Taylor's redirecting that jumping behavior. Good.
Oh, you don't want toys?
I'm going to go ahead and hide in the bathroom. I'm going to call her to me, and we're just kind of going to do this bounce back and forth. This is a wonderful way to practice recall.
Okay. Oh, you want cheese?
Oh, never mind. I think someone's in the bathroom, so I'm going to do this from the hallway.
Yeah.
Maggie, come.
Good girl. Good job. Good job. Good girl.
Maggie, come.
Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good job. Good girl. Good. 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 Okay, you're free.
Maggie, come. Yes, here you found me. Good girl. Good girl, Maggie. Good job. Good job. Good job. And look at her body language and her excitement level when we went out to cheese. So your treat is extremely important recall. We all know, man, yeah, there's something else. What else can you do? Good. Good touch. Good. Good. Okay, that's much better. It's always important to have a very high value treat whenever you are practicing recall, no matter where you are, even in the house. You want to make sure that they have oh yes, whenever I do that thing, I get the best damn treats ever. We're going to think that, okay? So go get creative. Turkey meat, deli meat, of course, hot dogs, stuff like that, okay? All right, guys, and that's it for today. I'm sorry about that weird pause.
Yeah.
Gio was talking to me behind the camera, but she's doing a really good job of recall. If you have any questions, let us know. And yeah, practice as we showed you, okay? Bye.